today. Well, with that, we now come to the last leg of the DevOps India Summit 2019. So all our keynote sessions and all our presentations are done for the day. So now we are going to have the panel discussion, wherein we are going to discuss the role of leadership in DevOps. So for that, may I now invite on stage our esteemed panelists for this panel discussion. So first, I would like to invite, sir, he's already here, Dr. Niladri Chaudhary, CEO of Excellento Services. Let's give a big round of applause, everyone. Next, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Anuj Pruthi from Target. Now I think you are in a different company. All right. So Anuj just told me just some time back that just 2 days back he changed his company. So can you please tell everybody which company you've joined now?
I'm with Lowe's right now.
All right. Okay. So next, can I have on stage Mr. Mark Hornbeek, Principal Consultant for DevOps? Mark, yes, he's here. Ms. Archana Joshi, Head of Transformation at Larsen & Toubro Infotech. Is Archana here? Okay. Mr. Naresh Chaudhary from Infosys, can we please have you on stage, please? Okay, it's not there. Okay. Ms. Padma Satyamurthy, Delivery Director, International at C Prime Inc. All right. And Mr. Mahesh Roth, can we please have you on stage? Let's have a big round of applause, everyone. We want the applause to keep going.
So I wanted to make an announcement. Where's Archana? Okay. What we thought was that there's a lot of, and I think some of the speakers also mentioned, is that there's a lot of need for the leadership team to also learn to get being handholded in the DevOps area. And that's where we are launching this group, this forum called DevOps for Executives. And we have Mark, Mahesh, Anuj, Padma, and Archana to be part of this group. And this is DevOps for Executives. The objective is to create that platform where senior management and middle management professionals can come together to share their knowledge and learn from each other while enabling them to create better business in the transformation journey. And we would expect that a lot more other organizations would come and help us in making this more successful. And actually, just now I was just sitting with Sanjeev, and one of the suggestions that he has is next year in this event, we will have a separate track only for the leadership. Okay, thanks everyone. Welcome to this.
All right, now I would like to invite on stage Ms. Rosalind Radcliffe from IBM to please join us for the panel discussion. Mr. Sanjeev Sharma from Delphix, Mr. Bruce Armstrong from IBM, Mr. Sean Norris from Pivotal, can you please join us on stage? Mr. BMK Lakshmi Narayanan from Bank of New Zealand, Dr. Taprabratapal Topopal from Capital One, Mr. Gary Groover from Gary Groover Consulting, Mr. Gopinath CH from Microsoft, Mr. Daniel O from Red Hat, Mr. Akshay Anand from Exelos, Mr. Ashok Mysore from CGI, and last but not the least, Mr. Mohammad Wasim from Publicis Sapient. Can we please have you all on stage as we now proceed for the panel discussion wherein we are going to discuss the importance of leadership in DevOps. So this session is going to be moderated by Dr. Niladri Chaudhary and Ms. Padma Satyamurthy as well. All right, so now since we are at the last leg, a quick announcement again on the hashtag DOIS 2019. So we have crossed almost 3,000 tweets alone today. That's a big, big number. Thank you so much once again, everybody. But now we still have around half an hour to 45 minutes left for the session to get over. So request all of you, this is your last chance. Take out your mobiles, quickly tweet about the conference with the hashtag DOIS19. We want more and more tweets coming in. And after the panel discussion is done, we're going to run the script for the very last time and find out our winners for the DOIS 2019, DOIS 19 tweets. All right, so I request all of you to please, please, please take out your mobiles and keep tweeting. Remember the hashtag DOIS19. All right, so now I'll give the mic to you and you can proceed with the panel discussion.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for staying back for this. We'll try to keep it as crisp and as much on time on possible here. So we have received a few questions that we kept announcing during the sessions today. And there are a couple of questions where they have even written who should answer also. So that makes it. And the theme what we spoke about just a minute ago, the event that Niladri announced, that leadership, role of leadership in DevOps, right? So that's something we have always found when we get into an organization that, yeah, here is the budget, here is the tool, go ahead and do whatever you want. That's an approach we have seen from the leadership. And DevOps, what do I have to do? I'm neither a developer, nor an operations, nor a tester. So why do you want me in any of these discussions is one of the questions we get whenever we go to an organization as a coach or as a transformation agent, and we try to talk to them. They say, don't get me in all this. I have approved all the budgets required for it. So beyond budget and beyond providing a physical space for the people to sit and do the DevOps, or I don't know if it's do DevOps is correct, but that's what the organizations do. What else do you think leadership should be doing? That's one of the things we wanted to start off with. Maybe we could just round Robin 1 minute per person. What your thoughts are a leader's role in a DevOps journey, especially in a large organization? It's a shame if startups are not. Topo said that, and I totally agree. But in a large enterprise, 50-year-old, 70-year-old, 100-year-old, what do leadership do in the DevOps journey?
Hi. First of all, DevOps. Hi. First of all, DevOps has to be part of the, the leadership agenda. We talk about many things, but DevOps, what I'm seeing in my organization in last over 18 months, it's part of the leadership agenda, the board. Then I have seen, getting selection of a right leader from the board or from the, from there is always helpful. And we have seen, many discussions happening, engineering practices. That is, bottom up, it can be taken. And also, when we have part of the agenda, then we can think about how this is rolling out to all the, places. It can be a tool set, skill set, or it can be a mindset. So it's a marathon, it's a journey. So having a right leader and, approachable, walking and seeing and measurable, all those things, is a bundle of things. Thank you.
They need to coordinate the work across teams in a large, tightly coupled systems. They need to provide that vision, and they need to get people working together across the silos in the different parts of the organization, create the capacity for innovation, and help champion it throughout the organization. You can do a lot of things ground up tools-wise, but if you're going to change behaviors, and this is a lot about changing behaviors, once you've agreed on how you're going to do things, some of these behaviors aren't optional, and you need leaders that understand that, understand where we're going, and are willing to reinforce the behavior changes that are required.
Yes, I think the leadership should be one of the key listening points for the customers, right? They need to be the champions and setting the stage for what the business strategy is to connect the business strategy with the customers with the DevOps.
I'd say I have four things for the leaders to kind of come up with. One is foster innovation. I think Gary talked about that. Second is empower the engineers. Number three is provide enough air cover for the failures. And then the last thing is, create a culture of collaboration across the enterprise.
Yeah, for me, I have 10 scenes of presentation. I could talk about that, but that's okay. If the DevOps transformation starts from C-level, it will be a disaster. If it just starts from grassroots, that will be also a disaster. So they have to come together. Ron Westrom defines that the culture of an organization is how do you react for the issues and opportunities as an organization, and that's critical. And you need leadership support and also the grassroots support for that.
I think the biggest problem we face when we're talking to leadership about DevOps is they don't understand what the goal of adopting DevOps is, right? The goal of adopting DevOps is not to adopt DevOps. The goal of adopting DevOps is to fix problems in delivering applications you have. And if you take it to that first principles and understand the business impact, the leadership will fall in place or changed.
So I think the first most important thing is leadership is there to support your ability to do the transformation. They have to understand that you have to be able to slow down to speed up. They have to give you the room to slow down and support this transformation. And they have to follow the same thought process that says they're empowering the teams to do the work. They can't come in with command and control and yell and scream. They have to change, give the people time.
So in my view, the leaders have to set the purpose, right? Why, define the vision, articulate the why, and make sure that they stand with it. The way it starts is that they have to transform themselves first. It's not a thing that you do by hand's distance. You've got to be involved into it. You have to be a part of it. So that's where it starts, and that's where it has to move around. It's not just lip service. Sometimes it all depends, like how are you backing it up? How are you doing your fundings? How are you, if there's an incident happening, how are you responding to that, right? Are you still saying fail fast, and then when it happens, you're reacting differently? Or you are okay that you want to take some lessons out of that failure and then use it, leverage it, that knowledge for the rest of the organization to make sure that the organization don't repeat that mistake. So it has to be a part and parcel of that.
So the question I have is, who is the leadership? In a large organization, there's different levels. So executive leadership, there's usually only one person that has absolute overall authority over all of the different cross functions, and that's usually like the CEO or something, and he's not going to be the driver for DevOps. Instead, you need like alignment around some of the C-level folks at the executive level to at least be sponsors and recognize that they have strategic goals and get alignment around their business strategic goals for DevOps, but then empower and encourage and coordinate the lower level leaders to get alignment around what I say, the tactical goals, the kind of stuff that's in the State of the DevOps report, agility, stability, and all that are more tactical goals. And you need the intermediate, the middle level leaders to get alignment around that. If you can't get alignment with leaders, then it's pretty tough to, complete a DevOps journey effectively. I've seen too many cases where, there's individual initiatives at the functional level that even though they're successful, they don't really make it because the leaders aren't aligned around what's being done. So in my new books, Engineering DevOps, I talk about a 7-step process, and the first step is get leadership alignment. And if you don't get leadership alignment, don't go to step 2.
So I think one of the key ingredients, what just Mark talked about, is a very clear mission statement understood from everyone right at the grassroots level, right up to the, the executives or C levels. The other thing is, how collaborative environment are the leadership really providing. The third thing is a lot of pragmatism should go in. Probably, along with that, we read somewhere in one of the sessions here, there has got to be a lot of air cover. Surely we need that, a lot of backing on that front. Rosalind actually made a very good point in terms of, most of us don't get to really work on green fields, and really taking a pragmatic view of it, what do we want to do, right? We scan probably, a couple of 100,000 lines of code. It throws up a lot of, scan issues, getting overwhelmed and going down with it probably is not an option. Really, looking at what new code are we adding, really, are we changing any code, and how do we get on with what is being changed or added? I think pragmatism is at the center of it.
Yeah, in my role, I spend a lot of time talking to C-level technology executives. In fact, I was chatting with some earlier this week, about 20 CIOs for a large financial services company, and one of them stopped me after about 10 minutes in of my executive's guide to DevOps and said, but we're an insurance company, do we really need to go fast? And he was being genuine. If I compare that to working at Amazon for a little while, one of the interesting things there is the leadership team had been together for a very long time. So there was not this revolving door at the top. So large enterprises have this sickness where if you don't achieve immediate results or you're not the flavor of the month, there's this revolving door, and we've all seen it. Places like Amazon are not doing that, and that's one of their secrets to being able to have a strategy where they have better ways of working actually stick, because it's the same executive team around the planning table year after year with only very minor changes. So that's one of the things I would say is this is actually a long game. If you expect to completely turn over a large enterprise to be able to be working better after 6 or 12 months, you're probably being unrealistic. It's taken Amazon 20 some odd years to get to where they are, and they're still going, but they keep the team in place. There's a few other things, but I'll pass it along.
Yes. So I think many people covered. So one of the key things is DevOps transformation is always a J-curve. Like there is slowness that will happen. Now leaders need to take accountability and then provide the air cover. In addition to that, I'll just add, literally they have to reiterate that DevOps transformation to everybody in all hands or, pick up one of the recurring meetings, continuously communicate the importance. That's the only way the change management or cultural change management can happen inside the org. Reiterate it.
I think there's a very subtle difference between agreement and alignment, right? Agreement is nodding your head whether you understand the subject or not, right? The alignment only comes when you are educated. When you're expecting your leader to align or leader to align, you have to make sure that leader is actually also educated. And leaders generally, the executive guys, learn all these things in call courses, which is not a good thing to have. So I think it's when we are expected to know about the industry, I think now it's the time for all the executives also to spend time with IT, learn about it, and then take a decision whether they want to align or not.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to say at the last moment because the people already cover up. So just a couple of things that came to my mind when I talk about some DevOps journey for CIO rebels. So first thing is to start at the end. So what if we succeed to build the DevOps platform or DevOps journey, what's going to be end? So keep in mind that. And second thing is pick up our own pace. So don't try to speed up or accelerate compared to competitor or the other companies. And last thing is the more focus on practice rather than just technology, some process. So keep practicing is make it better DevOps. And it's not just happening one time, gonna be part of the journey.
That's great. So the next question I will pose to all of you. And we'll start with Daniel this time again, 1 minute for each. We have seen that in many places, we start off with some tools, right? And obviously product is also talks about tools for any process improvement down the line. And I don't think it is something going to be changed very easily. So that will be there. The second point is there are leaders who have been used to doing things in a certain way. So I want to be a CMMI 5 company. I send a memo and within 3 months, we have CMMI level 5. So, as a leader, I think we are used to it. And my personal feeling What is it? And also in looking at budget and everything, we need to see, we are also apprehensive that whether it will work for me or not. Now, keeping all this in mind, what do you think, or each one can say one thing that you feel we should do to start with and gradually move and scale it up?
Yeah, so actually many vendors and many even open source community provide many tools, techniques to build the DevOps more easier and quicker. So my point is whenever we pick up the right tool or right technique, even right process, so think about how to merge it, how to combine, how to integrate. So point is the unified environment, the unified process, even you can have multiple product, multiple solution, multiple process, but how to unify that thing in their own, align their own process, align their organization. So I already talked about if you have a multiple product, if you have a multiple solution, but is it really easy to integrate or unify the all solution for each organization, each team? So answer is always no. So I think we needed to find the right solution, align it unified, some concept, unified platform.
Yeah, I think one thing that I definitely want to do is unlearn lots of and flex on new muscles. Like Dr. Tapur mentioned about clean up. So you have to really go back in your room and throw out everything that was there obsolete, because all those things come back no matter what in your muscle memory. So unlearning that part is the most difficult, and that's what I would suggest.
The tools is the hardest part. Developers already know a lot of tools, that they have learned. Asking them to, learn a new tool sometimes can be complicated. Second one is you cannot get fit for tools for everything too. So, and if you have many tools too, again, it may not meet the compliance requirements. So, we cannot have this side where, I can just use whatever tool I want, or, we are mandating a suite or a tool set that is needed for the enterprise. Both don't work. We just need to find a middle ground. And that middle ground is the hardest one, because, either you will disappoint some of the developers, or, you will not meet some of the compliance requirements.
Really quickly, I'd say that senior leaders should just start focusing on outcomes and applications. So application workloads, and figure out what your business and your customers need to be improved. If you start there and you don't tell your developers what to do, but you set them the goal of how things have to improve, they're smart, they will figure it out. As Steve Jobs said, we don't hire smart people to tell them what to do, we hire smart people so they tell us what to do. And so as senior leaders, we need to focus on setting the goal and then stepping aside and letting our development teams and our technology people go and figure out novel ways to get there.
Yeah, completely agreed on that with Gary, with Sean, sorry. I think what it all starts with is identifying the bottlenecks. Probably, value stream mapping is probably the best way to get into it and identify where the pain points are. But then, choice of tools probably, or the mechanics to get the technical solution, I think should be best left with the experts really, with the developers to really take care of it. I think identifying bottlenecks is probably the crucial part of starting with identification of tool.
I look at leadership and tool selection as a challenge, because if you leave it up to the experts, they're often going to pick the best tool, and maybe you don't need that more expensive best tool depending on what the application is, right? You may want to spend some of that money on some other part of the pipeline in order to get a balanced solution. So the way leadership can help provide a balanced choice set for a particular tool chain, for a particular app requirement, is through governance policies, and a really great approach is to set up good policies in service catalogs and to have a flexible workflow that allows the different teams to be able to make requests through that workflow and have approvals, and then have the tools posted through the service catalog. That's a way to, on one hand, control the number of choices so they don't proliferate too much, but on the other hand, provide flexibility. And I think leadership really does have a role to play in making sure that those, infrastructure, if you like, for tool selection policies are set up.
I think in my mind, the conversation should not even start at tools. That's not the place where you want leadership to spend time. You should be having some more time spending on the value that you want to deliver, define it, articulate it well. And once you have alignment on that, then you move to the practices that you need to deliver those values, right? So you can always say that you want to deliver a quality solution, right? So quality becomes the value of your delivery. Now, in order to do that quality, you say that, okay, you may have to do testing as a practice, right? And now is the conversation where it comes to the tools, and I think we should be relying a lot more on our principal engineers, lead engineers, and distinguished engineers to drive that conversation to pick the right tool from the available bouquet. But for me, and the second part is that leadership should be getting a lot more educated around that, right? So it's not that you don't just leave everything so far that you say, I don't even care, but you should have some knowledge around it and let empower the engineers to take the decision.
There has to be a clear strategy for why and where you're going, and help people understand the value stream, but also from a leadership standpoint, allow the change to the processes that are in place so that you can do it. Because you do a value stream mapping, you do value stream work, you work with new tools, and you still have a process that says you have to have a cab that signs off on this 2 weeks before. You have to freeze before. Allow the change, support the change to the processes to support the change to the new ways of working.
I think to kind of extend on that topic also, right? Once you identified the processes, then what you need to do is start rationalizing the tool chains. Every large enterprise has different technology stacks, so it is unreasonable to say I'm going to have the same tool set for every application delivery release train or application delivery lifecycle value stream which you have. But what is important to understand there, which tools need to be standardized and which don't need to be. Something like an IDE doesn't need to be standardized because it's very language dependent, and you can have application going on in different languages. But deployment automation, very important to standardize. You can't be deploying 15 different ways. Same way, database provisioning needs to be standardized. Test data management needs to be standardized. But there are several other aspects which don't need to be. Planning needs to be standardized. Architecture needs to be standardized. So understand what needs to be standardized and what doesn't, and it will vary by technology stack. So you're minimizing those integration points and touch points which you then have to maintain. I've gone into many organizations where there's an entire ecosystem of developers who are just sitting around managing integrations between tools rather than writing real code. That needs to go away.
Okay, the one thing that I would expect is actually for them to learn Kubernetes and stateful set. No, jokes apart. Probably take a deep breath and let go all your egos, because I think that is one of the biggest challenges that we see, when it comes to the head of or CEO of units, business units, right? And three things comes to my mind. One is, well said by Rosalind, like start with why, Simon Sinek's statement. Number two, establish a principle that, I believe in this, leave the place better than you found. Whether it comes to your test, whether it comes to your strategy, whether it comes to your code, whether it comes to your pipeline, standardizations, that one. And also the third thing is, you could learn from anybody in your organization from anywhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether the CEO learning from a developer sitting in the corner of the room or the developer learning from a tester from a different place. I think we need to have that openness and learning opportunity for everybody, and they have to also go through this.
You scared me for a while when you started with Kubernetes. So I think from the leader's perspective, the leader should announce that my goal is to deliver higher or better quality software faster, safer, and at the same time, I want my engineers to be happier. Now, with that kind of mission statement, go to the development team or engineering team.
Kind of think about the terminology that you use so that it resonates. They hear what you're saying rather than acronyms and tools.
I think we all recognize that we can do a lot at the engineering level, but if we don't get the executives on board and leading it, these transformations are going to struggle. And the challenge is they don't have the resources to understand the concepts, and they don't necessarily have the resources to understand their role. As I moved from HP to Macy's and tried to replicate what I'd done at HP in another large organization of thousands of engineers trying to work together, what I realized at the end is it's very easy to get training as an engineer. There aren't the resources out there for executives. So I tried it. My first attempt was leading the transformation. I think it got out there. It got read a fair amount, but I'm not sure it's working yet. I also try executive workshops because you've got to do it. We've got to provide them the resources and the information in a way that they'll accept and absorb them. And what I find is a lot of executives are too busy to read. So the next attempt is I do executive workshops, and I try that, and I'm trying that. And then my last book, and Kyocho Ono at Toyota, the goal of the management leadership team is to teach everybody in the organization the systematic approaches. So they've got to agree on a systematic approach for driving it. They've got to understand the role, and then they've got to propagate that through their organization. And that's what I tried to capture in my last book. I don't know if it's going to work because I don't read. I'm also trying to maybe turn it into an executive class for a computer-based so that you can hold them accountable as to whether they did it or not. I don't know, but I think that challenge is out there for how do we help them understand what it is that's changing and why it's important, and understand their role and what they need to be doing to make it successful. And there just aren't the resources out there for them.
Yeah, apart from this people and process, especially if an organization is going on multiple acquisitions, where I come from, so what happens is, tool, we talked about a lot of tool chain, but if you have large organizations coming together, then we not only carry the people or process, we carry, the tools as well. So what we have done in last 2 years, we have application services optimization program. So especially when you have, services which are running and you want to use the tool, then comes is you need to see how do you optimize the tools. So we do have, I'll complement what Sanjeev has talked about. So we do have a lot of tool sets where we mandate or suggest to use in a different levels. And it's much easier if it is a transformation. We will go for a discussion if it is a transition. And today we look from an opportunity phase so that, we can get it set right from the day one, not struggling, when we come to the transition. So we will have this, start from the day one itself, from an opportunity phase discussion, with the client or a sponsor. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So this is last question in the interest of time, and this is because he opened the closet on bimodal. So yeah, while you say that bimodal is dead, some of us know that it is not. Live and kicking in many organizations, hale and healthy. So what should a leader in that organization, where do they start and what is their role if you want to get away with the bimodal approach?
Yeah, the whole notion of bimodal IT is the acknowledgement that part of the IT can be slow and follow the old process. And the whole idea of DevOps is kind of, making sure whether you are delivering a part of your application once a week or 10 times a day, it doesn't really matter. It's the process and the uniformity and the compliance and all the other things that come along with it kind of aligned. So the whole notion of bimodal IT doesn't work because it kind of encourages the bad practices to start with that you want to get out of. So that's why I think it's kind of, the leaders should make a strong opinion that, sorry, we do not need bimodal IT. We need coherence across the teams. It doesn't matter about the delivery speed or mismatch between the speed between two components or applications. Is the whole concept and the practice and the collaboration and culture that needs to be uniform across the enterprise.
Agree, because I think it goes back to, I just can't remember who said, but I think he made that point where he said, you don't have to deliver something every 15 days or every month, then I think you can strategize properly and get there. But if you have the pressure of you need to show something every 15 days, even at a leadership level, then they don't want to take head on with anything that's already working fine. Yeah, thank you.
So with this, we'll close the panel, but and thanks to everyone. I would request all of you to still be on stage because we still have some gifts to be given to some of the lightning talk speakers and volunteers and others. So which I will request each one of you to give something or the other. Okay? And so the questions that came from that picking up a winner. Give me that.
This is Mimi.
Minnie Samuel. Okay. Next one.
Priyank.
All right, before we end the conference, a big thank you to all our sponsors, our title sponsor, Microsoft Azure, our platinum sponsor, IBM, our gold sponsors, Infosys, Publicis Sapient, CollabNet version 1, and Exelos, our associate sponsors, Site 24/7, Trace 3, our partners, DevOps Institute, PeopleCert, DevOps.com, our media partner, TechGig, our community partner, Women Who Code Bangalore chapter, and our event management partner, Eventex. Let's have a big round of applause for all our sponsors for today. Thank you so much for supporting the DevOps India Summit 2019. So before we move on, I would like to invite on stage Siba Prasad from Publicis Sapient. Is Siba here? Yeah. So we had 2 contests by Publicis Sapient. One is Crack the Code and Crack the Puzzle raffles. So I believe you have the winners. So yeah, I would like to give you the mic and please announce the winners for this.
Thanks everyone for participating enthusiastically on the Crack the Code and Crack the Puzzle competition. All those who cracked the puzzle and cracked the code are in this, and we will draw a lucky winner who will get a EcoShow 5.
You can ask one.
Topo, you want to draw raffle? All right. That is Sheila Vaidya. Shikha Vaidya. Sorry. Okay. Back. Where's the prize? Where's the prize? That's coming.
Okay, Shikha has also been one of the speakers for the DevOps India Summit. So big round of applause for
Hey,
Shikha. Sorry, I was anchor for the tracks. Congratulations, Shikha. All right, next I would like to invite on stage Mr. Manav Tyagi from CollabNet. Please join us on stage and announce the winner for the raffle draw. Manav Tyagi is from CollabNet.
Select someone. Thank you. Please come over here. And the winner is George Vargas. Is he here?
George Vargas? He's not here.
It's not here. We can
So you
take one more, please. Yeah. And here is Manjula Vasudeva. No one? And here is Arun Mohan. Oh.
Is it they are not there or they don't want the eco dot?
And Neetu Kumar. That's right.
Pick up somebody from the top.
Yeah. Vaishali Mudukirkar. Oh my God.
This guy is gone for a break.
You are lucky. You want to talk? Maybe lucky you want to speak some more names and say this. I'm just not lucky. Is Mahesh Nimagadu.
Oh, finally we have a winner here. He's present. I must say, Mahesh, you are very, very lucky because all the other people were not here. So Mahesh wants an Eco.5. Let's give a big round of applause for Mahesh. Everyone, come on. All right, so now I'd like to announce the winners of the quiz that we had. So the prizes are both Bluetooth earphones, and the first winner who got all the questions right is Radhika from CGI. Yes, she's here. So Radhika got all the questions to the quiz right. All the 10 of them were right. Congratulations, Radhika. And sir, can I please request you to hand over the gift to her?
Before I give it to you, Radhika, did you use Google?
Maybe.
And the second winner for the quiz, again with all the answers right, I think most of them have used Google, is Mr. P. Anil Kumar. Yes, he's here as well. Great. So all these guys have stayed back for the prize.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Anil. Okay. So now we are going to announce the most social attendee of the DevOps India Summit 2019. So the latest script that we ran, we had more than 3,300 tweets for the DevOps India Summit 2019. All right, and I have the winners with me. So first I'll announce the runner-up, the second prize, and that is an Eco Show 5, and that goes to Nilesh, who had 208 tweets. 208 tweets alone. Oh, there he is. So I think he has been tweeting almost every minute today. 208 tweets alone, everyone. Come on, let's give a big round of applause to Nilesh. And
So
you win an Eco Show 5. Sir, can I please request you?
So the question, Nilesh, is, were you only tweeting or hearing also?
So whatever session I was attending, so whatever they were speaking, I was just putting them in a tweet chain kind of that. So anyone can go to my Twitter handle and then it can read like whatever sessions I've attended. So all the things are available there in a conclusive matter. It's not just photos and all.
All right, so if anybody wants to look into his Twitter handle, it is Neel94Neel. It's N-E-E-L, 94 N-E-E-L. All right, and now the winner of the most social attendee of the DevOps Summit 2019 with a count of 372 tweets alone. 372 tweets alone is Pranati. Yes, Pranati is here. 372 tweets, everyone. Come on, let's give a big, big round of applause. That's a record number for somebody alone tweeting so much stuff. Thank you so much, Pranati. And she wins a Kindle Paperwhite 10th generation.
So I'll just announce something. In the meantime, you can start calling. Okay. So I have a couple of announcements to make. So next year, the plan is for DevOps India Summit is to be somewhere around a Friday, Saturday in July, most probably 10, 11, to accommodate a DevSecOps track so that we can get people like Ellen, DJ Schleen, Mark Miller. So hope that, will that be helpful for you people? Yes? Great. Second announcement that I have is we saw that Women Who Code is one of the community partners. So from Excellentro side, we would like to work with Women Who Code. And what I'm proposing is that Excellentro will provide on the DevOps and ITIL 4 every alternate month, one training session free of cost. Certifications, I cannot comment on that because that's for Axelos and others to decide on it, but the sessions I will conduct free of cost. So other than that, now we'll get into the valedictory session. So.
All right, so now we're going to announce the list of all the lightning talk speakers, and we would like to felicitate them. And for that, can I please request Gabby to please step up here as we announce the names one by one. First and foremost, can I please request Mr. Mahesh Raut to please join us on stage.
And Neha. Okay. Separately.
And Gary, can I please request you to hand it over to Mahesh?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mahesh. Next, I would like to invite on stage Ms. Neha Ranade to please join us on stage and get felicitated by Gary Grover. Now, can I have Mr. Ankit Gupta to please join us on stage?
He has already.
Yeah,
Okay. Mike Owen, can I have you on stage, please?
They both have left. They have flight.
Mr. Ganesh Pise? Yes, can I please have you on stage? Let's have a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. All these people have been the lightning talk speakers for the day. Thank you, Gary. You can now have your seat. Okay. Oh, fine, it'll be great. If you do want to do that, okay. Okay, he's very good, relaxed. Topo, can I please have you on stage? All right, can we have Mr. Senthil Kumar Shanmugam to please join us? And can I request Topo to please felicitate him? Next, can I have Mr. Akshay Sharma to please join us on stage? Is Akshay here? All right, next, can I have Mr. Abhishek Amralkar? Can we please have you on stage, Abhishek? Now I would like to request Mr. Sandesh Deshmane to please join us on stage. Followed by Ms. Pranati Allah, who was also the winner of the most social attendee of the DOIS, yes. Yes, Pranati, please join us on stage. Ms. Shilpi Mitra, can we please have you on stage as well? Shilpi Mitra, are you here? All right. And Nivarti Jairam. Nivarti? So Nivarti has been volunteering for the DevOps India Summit. Thank you so much, Nivarti, for your contribution. Okay, next I would like to invite, yes, Topo, you can have your seat. Rosalind, can we please have you here to felicitate our next volunteers? And that is Padma Satyamurthy. Please have you on stage. Can we please have you on stage? Shikha, can we please have you on stage as well? Shikha Ved, a volunteer for the DevOps India Summit 2019. Ramya S. Gaura, can we please have you on stage? Ramya? Okay, she's not here. Ms. Preeti R. Is she here? All right, can I have Navyata Sagar on stage? Yes, Navyata, she's there. Navyata has been hosting the DevOps India Summit along with us. She was hosting track 3 today. Let's have a big round of applause, everyone. And now can we have Mr. Ashok Mysore to please, yes, you're already on stage. Rosalind, can we please have you, yeah, this is the last one, to felicitate Mr. Ashok Mysore from CGI. Okay, Mark, now can we have you on stage to felicitate our next slot? And now we are going to call out the organizers. The organizers who have helped us organize the DevOps India Summit 2019. First of all, can we have Mr. Vivek Joseph on stage, please? Vivek, are you here?
I don't think he's there. Nita will check. Next.
All right. Next, can we have Neeta Singh on stage? Yes, Neeta. Ashwini S. Verneker, can we please have you on stage? Surbhi, can we please have you on stage? You can leave that for some time now. Surbhi. Can I have you on stage, Surbhi? Okay, Mark, you can have your seat now. Can we please have you? Yeah. Okay. So Gopi CH is here to felicitate our next slot of organizers.
Let him be there. This one I'll do, and then she will call for the others. So I think one we have not done yet is for Ria herself. And I don't think she can call herself on the stage.
Okay, Gopi, we would like you to felicitate Mr. Anup Tarafdar from the Eventex team. Can we please have you on stage? So Eventex, ladies and gentlemen, is our event partner for this event. The whole setup that you're seeing here has been all
Just
done
hold on a moment.
by Anup.
Just hold on a moment. We want Rati also to be here. So they are a couple who manages the whole thing, so better Rati be here. So last 2 nights they were awake all through.
Thank you, Gopi. You can now take your seat, and I'll call Danielle to please join us on stage and felicitate our last 4 organizers. So now I'd like to invite on stage Ms. Rinku Ray. Rinku, are you here? Yes. Next, can we have Mr. Palash Roy on stage, please, if Palash is around? Is Palash here? Okay. Next, can we have Shreya? Shreya on stage, please. So Shreya has joined us all the way from Singapore for organizing this event for us. Thank you, Shreya, for your contribution. And last but not the least, can we have Ms. Deepa Raj on stage, please?
I think she must.
All right, Deepa is here. That's great. All right, thank you, Daniel. So before we close the conference formally, I would like to invite Niladi sir on stage and to give us some views, what you thought about the conference, how it went for you. Let us know. We would all like to hear you. Let's hear for Mr. Niladi Chaudhary. Everyone, come on.
So Daniel, once more.
You're not done.
So this is a time when I have to thank everyone, and I want to thank everyone. First of all, I will start with the complete crew of people from Eventex who spent the nights helping us set up and without sleeping, and the next day they were here to help all of us as speakers, as us, to make this, I think it was glitch-free. Second, I would like to thank my team, and I would like them to be here. So, Ashwini, Neeta, Suravi, Shreya, Rinku, Palash. So this is the team that you see who has helped me in actually executing this. The next, I would like to thank all the volunteers like Shikha, Nivarti, Mahesh, who has been constantly working not only just the 2 days, but over a period of time to enable us to get this done. Then, I would like to thank all the participants here, even because it's a long weekend. After all that, if you have come, it means that you want to learn. And that's what is good. What we would like is next year to make it more, right? So this year we have around 300 people, so 389. So this next year we should get at least 600. Yes? So everybody has to bring 2 people. And those who comes next year, I'll be asking a question to some of you as to what you have learned from here that you have practiced over the year and what you have got out of it. And we'll send it back to the speakers that this is what they have practiced from what they have learned from you. Right? I would like to thank all these speakers who are here and who participated, whether it is from the sponsors, whether it is from the call for papers, whether it is from the guest speakers who have arrived from all across the world. And I really thank them to take it forward, this culture of DevOps, which is sharing and helping each other out, because this shows that that commitment is there from their side. So thanks all of you. And finally, I thank all the sponsors, and because without them, this wouldn't have been possible. So I would like to thank Microsoft for Microsoft Azure for them. Is Divya there? Can one of you call Divya? And also Naveed from IBM, if you can. Because it was Divya with whom I interacted, and within 1 month they got the sponsorship done. And that's the same thing that happened with IBM. And I would also like to call Siba. Siba, you don't need to tie your shoes. And because Shiba is the person with whom I have interacted, and he got Publicist Sapient here. Other than this, I have Axelos, so Louis, Akshay came as a sponsor, so thank them. And I also thank TechGig and the whole team of Times of India, because they have been the media partner. They have published our press releases. We will have another post-program press release that will go, which will also go on Economic Times again, which was there. We had it on Silicon India and many other sites as press release, so that will happen. I would like to thank Site 24/7. I don't think, does many of you know Site 24/7? I think we know more like Zoho, but there's a Site 24/7, so they have also been associate partners. Trace 3 for helping Mark to come here and give him the free time to come here. And definitely Women Who Code, who has been our community partner. Catchpoint, definitely. They came in the last moment. Within 1 day, they got everything organized and was a associate sponsor here. And because they saw our event ad on the metro station, and that's where they came to know just 1 week before. And I would thank Rajeshwari and Deepa. They are the people who handles my PR thing. So MarkWorks is the organization which does all the PR activity for Excellentro. And finally, thanks to all and everyone who has been in the crew in the event, and hope to see all of you bringing more friends and colleagues from your side next year. I would also have one special thanks to 2 people. One is Shweta Lakshmanan. She is from VMware, who helped me connecting to Women Who Code and also get some people from there. And also Divya Krishnamurthy from Akamai, because they also, one of her people were volunteer as MC, and they also had a good team coming up here. And I think I missed out one more, which is, one more person, that is Naresh, who couldn't make it here, but Ashwin was here. So Infosys as another sponsor who were there. And thanks everyone once again, and we close DOIS 2019.
So before the speakers go anywhere, can I please request Siba Prasad from Publicist Sapient to please join us on stage? as he's going to give a token of appreciation to all our speakers out here. So CollabNet is one of our sponsors. CollabNet version 1 is one of our sponsors for the DevOps India Summit 2019. Wasim? Okay. Yeah, this is for all the speakers out here. Let's have a big round of applause for all our wonderful speakers for sharing their insights, their knowledge at the DevOps India Summit.
This is a very interactive notebook. You can speak with Google Assistant. Thank you. It will. Thank you. Where is mine? We have not done a cheer for Dr. Niladri.
Yeah, we will. I'll just call 2 more people. 2 minutes. One is Navyata, Shikha, Padma. I don't think the Shiva Ranjini is there, so, and Surabhi. So I would like to thank all those who were professionally and also as volunteers being handling the anchoring and MC work for this DevOps India Summit 2019. Thanks to all of them. I think everybody got them too. Were they okay? Thanks a lot. And finally, I have to call one more person without whom this event was not possible at all. And down the line, I will have problems. Is my wife. You give it. Thanks a lot, everyone. And I would like to also talk about Dheeraj Nayal from DevOps Institute. They have been supporting, and I think everybody now has a socks from DevOps Institute. We want you to wear it, take a pic, send it across. He has. And Vivek Joseph from PeopleCert for supporting all through. And finally, the Marriott Hotel. Thank you.